Sometime last Friday, the Planet Coaster 2 workshop went down hard. For a lot of people, that was an inconvenience, a blip in their weekend, but for a lot of other people, it was the latest sting in a long pattern of stings, and the silence that followed from Frontier across every channel they have told us more about where we stand with this game's developers than any patch note ever will. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about what it means. I want to talk about the people defending Frontier and also the people who have had absolutely enough, because I think both groups are right about some things and both groups are missing some things. And the conversation that happens between both of them is going to be one of the greatest things this community has ever done. Welcome to After Park Closed. I'm Jason. This is a podcast in a reoccurring series I hope will be weekly. It's all centered around Planet Coaster 1 and 2 and around Frontier in general, because we can talk about some other games they have. But let's get into it. So here's what this show is all about. It's a podcast for people who care about Planet Coaster 2 and Frontier in a way that goes a little bit beyond the gameplay. It's all about the builders, the community, the people who have put hundreds of hours into this thing and want somewhere to talk about it like it matters, because a lot of it really does matter to people. The plan is to release these episodes regularly. I'm starting with monthly. I'm starting this month in June, and originally it was going to be Mondays, the first week of the month. But I think I'm going to try to make it weekly. I don't see any reason why I can't try to make that work. Put out a new episode on my channel for my park series, or a community-driven video or something, on like Saturdays or Sundays, and then put out a podcast episode on Wednesdays. So welcome. Let's dig into this, right? Now, in each episode, it's going to accomplish a couple things. We're going to talk about whatever actually happened in our community through the past week, and we're going to go digging into a bigger topic that I think is worth a real conversation. And we're going to bring in guests and builders and creators and content organizers, the people whose workshops, items, and YouTube channels help shape the community we're all part of, so they can get a chance to talk about what they're working on and share with you some other sides of themselves. I have reached out to some awesome guests that hopefully join us. You never know, right? It only hurts to not try, I think is what they say. If you want to be on the show, or you've got something you think we should be talking about, there's a Google form in the description with options for both. Fill it out. You can even drop down the little box and write comment. And if you don't want to comment publicly on the video, share your thoughts a little more in detail, or something that you really don't want to put out there as a out in public kind of comment. I read every one of them. I really do. And I think that if you're okay putting it in the comments section of the video here, I read every one of them too. So this is episode 1. Some of it's going to be a little rough. The format's going to change around. I still haven't quite figured out all the visuals that I'm going to need. The pacing's going to tighten a bit when I do that. So I'm asking you to be comfortable with what I have now, and be patient with what could be. But also, and if you're new here, I cannot stress this enough, not only should you subscribe, but you should also comment with your ideas, because I listen to people in the comments. Someone complained once and said, why do you waste all your time with this AI music in your videos when there's plenty of real music from other services? I wholeheartedly disagree, because I enjoy the use of AI music. I enjoy creating it through, the programs. And I don't care what anybody says. It's a creative tool. It's fun. You can so easily create the music that's in your head that fits the vibe. But anyway, neither here nor there. The person had commented this, and even though I disagreed, the very next video, at least, I did use Epidemic Sound, which I believe was something that they were hinting at using. I don't want to break this to anybody, but I feel like I'm duty bound to say something. A lot of what's on Epidemic Sound is AI created music as well. So just know that, okay? But yeah, this is going to be messy, and it's never going to actually be perfect. And my voice is already doing that thing where it gets kind of hoarse because it just naturally does that. If you know me in real life, I get a naturally hoarse voice by the end of the day. It's just what happens. So let's dig into this, right? Let's go into the outage and the silence that followed, okay? So let me lay out what actually happened to anyone who might have missed it or was living under a rock. Friday afternoon, the last Friday of May there, and I believe it's Friday, the workshop for Planet Coaster 2 went offline. For people who don't play this game obsessively, the workshop is where every blueprint, every park, every coaster the community shares lives. It's the heart of how the game really works. There's also your collaborations with other builders and things. When you take that away with the server being down, the community part dies. Pretty much dead on the spot. When it went down, people did what people do. They went to Discord. The official Frontier Unlocked Discord and several other community Discords were flooded. There were subreddits as well. They asked questions that you would expect. Is anyone else having this issue? What's going on? Hey, I can't get on the workshop. Is there an ETA? Does anyone know what Frontier is saying? And the answer they got from Frontier was silence. There was no tweets. There was no status posts. In fact, on the Frontier Unlocked Discord, one of the Frontier staff, and I won't say who or what they're responsible for because we're not playing that game, okay? Frontier's not the only enemy in this whole situation. Just so y'all know, I'm going to flip the script a little bit here coming up, and we're going to talk the opposite direction as well. So don't get too defensive yet. They were online. They were on Discord actively participating. There is no way they did not see the numerous comments happening every hour about this issue. In fact, there were full-blown arguments, throwdowns, some nasty interactions in the Frontier Unlocked Planet Coaster 2 Discord section. One even involving myself and a moderator who was very fast to correct me on saying WTF in chat. The actual letter is WTF. They referred to that as swearing. I get it. That is so overly extremely sensitive. And from a colloquial societal standpoint, you don't mean the same thing when you say WTF. You mean something different, a cleaner version of the same thing. But neither here nor there, okay? I hold no ill will towards this at all. What I do hold ill will towards is the people who were straight up nasty to people. One person actually said, oh, look, everybody wants to chat here all of a sudden. You know, and it's like, do you want people to interact with your Discord or not? Because if you don't, shut it down, right? But new people have to join if you're going to have a community. Don't get me started on that. There's one or two other Discords where if you're not part of their little clique, not the creator who owns it, the people that are active there, if you're not part of their little clique, you are on the outside and they make sure to cold shoulder you. And that's a form of bullying, bullying by exclusion. You can look it up. And bullies have no place in my heart. As you guys, hopefully, if you follow me for any length of time, you no doubt know, I am a puppies and rainbows and kittens kind of guy, okay? But I will 100% stand up for anybody who's marginalized or isolated. I really will. And I'm a mean grizzly bear about it, okay? I can be an ass if I need to be. I'm not afraid of that. I do not stand for bullying. I really don't. It's like me. I don't care how you treat me, okay? I really don't. I know that I've had disagreements and situations in some Discords, and we're not going to get into it. We're really not, because the bygones are the bygones, right? But to the people who hold that against me even till this day, come on, what are you doing? You know, I'm not going to mention her name, but she's a wonderful shining star in a dark, dark expanse, and she's probably squirming right now because she knows who I'm talking to. But you're such a lovely woman. You really are. And I am so eternally touched that you came to me this year and said, I want to put the past behind us and I want to grow together into the future. And we started to talk, and man, the flower garden that grew. It is such a beautiful series of conversations that we've had about life and people and community and all that. And we share such similar philosophies of wanting to see the Planet Coaster 2 community thrive. We really do. And it's not just a game. To all you people that say, oh, it's just a game, you're overreacting. It's not just a game. I think we're at that point in our society where most of us have a gaming world or community or sphere that we are part of, a tribe. And it's everything to us. And there's nothing wrong with that. So stop being old-fashioned and saying it's just a game. That's weird. Get with the times, okay? There are far unhealthier activities people can be engaged in. So back to the point, because I love to get distracted. ADHD is a son of a gun. Across every social channel, there was silence, right, from Frontier. So I understand their position, and I want to acknowledge that before I take it apart. Here's the thing. Frontier is a company. Companies have work days, and companies have weekends and time off. It's not a giant company with thousands of workers. The people who write those social media posts, the patch notes that look into the issues, those people, they have lives too. They deserve their time off. That's all very true. It's also a defense that will only work if you ignore everything that comes before this, right? Because leading up to this weekend is not the issue. There's a bigger full moon behind the clouds. Frontier has had a difficult relationship with the Planet Coaster community. Since the day the game's sequel launched, 10 or 20 year anticipated sequel. And it was rough. There was performance issues, graphics problems, features that didn't work like they were supposed to. The DLC cadence sucks, and there's long periods of silence in between. The communication about the game and its direction are sparse. And every time the community has raised these concerns, the official response from Frontier is almost always vague and sort of absent-minded about it. So when the workshop went down on a Friday afternoon and the community asked for any signal at all that the company was at least alive, they got nothing for 2.5 agonizing days. The silence was a vacuum. And this vacuum read against 18 months of accumulated silence. It's the latest data point and a pattern that is not isolated from incidents. It's flooded with them. And this is where the community has split. And I want to talk about that. Because as you guys know, I'm fanatical about making sure the Planet Coaster 2 community is one cohesive, solid unit, right? Because part of the community has responded the way I just described. They were disappointed, heartbroken, frankly butthurt about the whole thing. They were frustrated. Some people were angry and annoyed. They posted about this. There was a broader pattern. They named the PR problem. They expressed fatigue. They expressed that there's such a gap between Frontier and the promises that just weren't delivered. But there's another part of the community whose response was, and I'm quoting it roughly, "It's not that deep, bro. Some people need to go outside and touch some grass. Go play another game." What? I want to engage with that response seriously, because I don't think the people saying it are wrong exactly. I just think they're answering a different question than the one that was actually being asked. If someone would come forward and say, "I am personally devastated by a weekend of workshop downtime and my life has been ruined." Nobody's life was ruined, bro. Nobody's. The game will be back on Monday. And it was. The workshop will work again. No one will die. But that's not what most of the criticism was about. Most of the criticism was about communication. It was about whether a community that's asking us to invest hundreds of hours and real money into its product owes us a tweet when the product breaks. About whether silence is a sustainable PR strategy for a developer that's already operating on a deficit. You can think the answer to those questions is no, that Frontier owes us nothing, especially on a weekend, and that we should all just be more patient because it's just a game. That's defensible. But it's a position about standards, not about whether the criticism is deep or shallow. The criticism isn't deep. The criticism of this game is normal. The criticism is what every community asks of every developer that breaks their game. The question is whether Frontier wants to be the kind of company that answers or the kind of company that gives the cold shoulder to their people. And if for some reason this video would be, or this podcast would be heard by Frontier, or someone would communicate with them this message, and if you have that kind of contact with them, please do so. Because I am more than open with having someone from Frontier jump on a podcast here and defend the company. I love Frontier myself. Genuinely one of the greatest game companies in the lineup of games that I play. And as my friends Feminatari and I am Marv will gladly attest to, the number one in my heart will always belong to Mojang. But the second position of number one in my heart, because it's kind of a double thing, is Frontier. So Frontier, you should just know, if 5 people listen to this podcast and only 2 get to this point and no one ever tells them or they don't ever hear it, just know, if they could come on here and talk, I would gladly allow it. If they want to air it out, here's the invitation. So let's see. I think this is the heart of what's happening in the Planet Coaster 2 community right now. There's a group that has decided the standards we apply to other game companies should apply to Frontier. And there's a group that has decided Frontier is operating on a different scale or with a different constraint, and they need to be cut slack. Here's the cool part, okay? I don't think either group is being unreasonable, not unresponsible, unreasonable. I'm having trouble reading from my script, just so you're aware. I think they're operating on a different assumption about what we should expect from a company that's selling us a product. And I don't think that conversation is going to ever be able to resolve itself, because it's a conversation about values, not facts. And you can't change people's values. Here in the US, we've missed that completely. You can't change people's values. No one ever walks. I love this Oscar quote from The Office. Let me try to get it exactly right, because I'm going off the top of my head. So Oscar fans, just sit tight for a minute. I'm going to get it wrong. Sorry. It's something like, everyone loves a good debate, but no one's going to walk away from a debate having changed their mind. Okay? That's just how it is. Because it's values. A lot like our politics in the U.S., it's values. That's what I was hinting at, by the way. It's values. They're not facts you're arguing with anybody. It's values. Your perception. Everybody has different values. What I do know is this. The workshop went down for most of the weekend, and the company that runs it said nothing publicly the entire time. Whatever your position on whatever's happening, that's the facts. That's the thing that I'm reacting to, and I think that's the thing most people are reacting to. And the fact that we're now split into 2 camps over whether to be upset or not over it shows a sign of how emotionally unintelligent we are as a community and the relationship we need to build. I don't have a clean ending for this segment. The workshop came back. Frontier has not, as of recorded, anything substantive about what happened or why. And I doubt they will. The community will keep building, keep making things, keep doing what we've been doing, but this weekend will be remembered. It's another point of chart that's been drifting in a direction I do not love. If you've got thoughts about this, agreement, disagreement, you want to call me names, the perspective I missed, enlighten me, clue me in, leave them in the comments below. I will be reading all of them. We may come back into this in a future episode if the conversation heats up enough. Let's get into the next segment. Now I want to bring in tonight's guest. It's Mr. MarvyG, and he's going to be a regular on the show, from what I understand. So let's all give a warm welcome to Mr. MarvyG. So how are you today?
I am absolutely fantastically tired.
Oh man.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. It's it hasn't been a bad day here in the north. We're still hugging the 60s and 70s some days, but we're hanging in there. We will prevail. In this most colorful of months.
Yeah.
And everything's heating up. So, all the pretty people will be out.
Yeah. Usually when I talk to you, you're giving me Hail Marys about how you're getting ready to go through a tornado.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't miss the severe weather. I don't know if it's the El Nino or whatever it is that's pushing the weather more, over the Midwest. I don't know. I don't know how that all works.
we have a big El Nino that's happening this month or this week or whatever. But I heard it on the news the other day.
That's wild.
Yeah, I still honestly I still never all these years we've had El Ninos. I still never have done research on what that actually means.
So the
I
best,
mean,
it's one of those things. I don't know, like it's a temperature trend. Like I think it's one of those natural things we do where we have to name things.
right,
And then we have like a name to put behind the boogeyman that we all like are freaked out by.
right. Like there's El Nino, and then there's also El Nina.
That's crazy. So that would be a
Yeah,
cold period. Huh.
that's crazy. They named the cold period after a feast. It's so that's so sad. Anyway,
I
so
know.
what?
And then what I was wondering, first of all, and as much as we try to sound organic when we talk, is kind of one of those things where I kind of have some talking points. Um, so I was wondering what your thoughts were on the Frontier server outage. That's one thing because I love your perspective.
Actually, I did not know anything about. I didn't. I was sitting here at my computer, and Oma was trying to send me something through the workshop, and every time I click right to this to right now, when I click on the workshop, it still says timeout. So I still have not been able to get into the workshop.
No
But
kidding.
no, and I'm going to turn the game turn the game on now and see if I can actually get into the workshop. But I didn't realize anything was happening until Alma was I was supposed to pick some stuff off of her workshop that she's doing for me for Yellow Brick Funk, and that's when I started looking at the Discord and everybody's bitching and complaining about the workshop, and I'm like, what the heck? What's happening? What's happening? And so then I guess through module 7, I realized that the Discord is was down in the front in the server is down, which sucks. I mean, it's like, is it? I said something to Oma. Let me turn. Hang on. Let me just go into the game so you don't hear this music.
I mean, it is lovely music, but
Is it overbearing me?
no. And you know what's funny? ADHD is a son of
Tell me
Um,
about it.
I noticed it was you, me, and it wasn't you, me, and Gravity was the first, and then you, me, and something to do with water,
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
like the name of the album for Planet Coaster.
Hmm.
Um,
Look, liquidity or something like that.
yeah, you, me, and Liquidity.
Yeah,
And then I was like, what's the next one? Oh, you, me, and like outer space, like it's something to do with outer space. And I'm like, oh, that would be an interesting thing.
yeah. But so let me see. Okay, check it. We both just ADHD the heck out of this conversation.
Oh, no
Just
doubt. So,
because
you
okay,
know,
okay. I'm now be able to get into the workshop. So I remember. So now what I was gonna say was I was telling Oma the other day. I said to me it seems as though right before they're getting ready to announce a new DLC or give us a new DLC, I always have had problems with the workshop. Like literally, right before they give us a new DLC, I have problems with the workshop. So I just take that as they're doing work and maybe it's causing a problem with the server or something like that. I don't know. I
and
don't know. That's technical. I don't know technical stuff like that.
oh yeah, no doubt. And that was definitely a Ring doorbell.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of lesbians in the back apartment, and I don't know, they're swimming in the pool back there. Can you imagine?
oh my gosh. Yeah, but scissors can end up cutting the liner. Jeez.
Uh, I,
Uh,
and anything I say, if I say it, I don't care if you put it out there. It doesn't matter to me because I don't, everything I say, if it's not a joke, it's serious. I'm telling you facts. I won't say hyperbole stuff. I mean, it's going to be either serious or it's going to be a joke.
oh, then yeah,
So,
I'm glad you keep it real. That's why I want to have you on regularly on here.
um, so yeah, I think that what happens is that, and I'm just saying this for the benefit of the doubt, just to give Frontier the benefit of the doubt. I'm saying that maybe, you know, the reason why the server goes, because like I said, it happens to me every single time we get a new DLC or every single time they do an update. The workshop goes down. And it happens to everybody because I see it online all the time. So I'm thinking that maybe because they're doing work backstage of the game, that's what's causing the downage of the workshop. I mean, if you're out there and you're technical and you know anything about this stuff, prove me wrong, tell me I'm dumbass and I don't know what I'm talking about, but whatever, that's what I think. So what say you, Jason, Planco, and Jill?
I think it's definitely a sign that things are being worked on. And I
Right.
think that I'm going to die on the hill of we're getting doors that are operational in the game. And I
Oh my
really
God.
don't care. I know what I saw in that damn trailer.
You saw doors that are open that are operational by peeps?
Well, okay, so the parade master walks towards the door and it rolls up. And they don't put anything in that trailer that isn't meaningful in some way because that's what they do. And that door
Yeah.
rolls up. It's an automatic door. And he's waiting until it's up before he moves again because he's stationary as the door's rolling up.
If
And I'm
they
like,
put if they put usable doors in this damn game, I will pee my pants on camera.
oh my gosh. People would probably pay money for that.
For well, on X maybe.
Well, yeah. So
Baby, I have been wanting usable doors and elevators and escalators since I started playing this game 5 years ago.
oh, I know. Oh,
I'm like, why can't I want to build a big skyscraper? But what's the purpose of building a big skyscraper if you can't use it?
right.
And that's one thing. That's one thing that my one of my gripes in the game is this game is so sophisticated that we go through all this work to build all these massive structures only for them all to be facades. I don't like building like that. I like to build something that the peeps in the game can actually use.
Oh yeah. 100%.
You know, people say, "Oh, well, you should have had a park over here." I'm like, what the heck am I going to build a park for? Nobody's going to use it. I mean, yeah, I can build a park and I can build a beautiful park, but nobody's going to use it. It makes no sense to me. And I appreciate all the people that do all these massive, beautiful, parks for the kids and everything. I think it's amazing. I think it's great that they do that stuff, but it's just not something that I want to do.
Right.
I don't want to build unless I know the peeps are going to use it.
Well, that is
But
it's yeah.
go ahead.
No, it's just gonna say that I agree. I mean, it's
Yeah, I
one of
see. I
the
mean, I see some people, some builders, for realism, they put doors on the buildings. Meanwhile, there's a staff building behind that door, and then they put bathrooms, and then they put doors in front of the bathroom, and it's like you see people walking through the door, and I'm like, this game is too sophisticated to for me to download your park and watch somebody walk through a door.
right.
I want to see if I would rather you have it open and let me see the person walking into that place or even if you build a door and have it slightly open so that they walk, through the door. And I
That's
hate
brilliant.
clipping. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I hate when somebody makes them when something clipped. That is like scratching a chalkboard for me.
Oh yeah. No,
We've
I put
got
a trash can on corners because I hate when the gas clip through the corner of the building.
Yeah. If you were to go underneath any of my parks, you will see barriers all over the place because I just make sure that they don't walk through walls. Even if their shoulder clips through a wall, I've figured out that you could just delete the path of places that you don't want them to go, and then just put walls down, on the ground to make it look like they're still walking, whatever.
Yeah.
But I just clip it. Boogie is the same way. He does not like clipping. He does not like anything to clip. He doesn't like it. And I'm the same. I hate clipping.
We could probably do a whole episode on clipping.
Oh my God. I've seen some really freaking awesome coasters, like spotlights on coasters and everything. And I'm looking at this coaster like, oh my God, that and then all of a sudden, bam, bushwhack. I'm like, oh shit. That just messed me up. You
Oh,
did not ride your coaster.
I remember I got this
So
YouTube comment once from somebody, and they were like, "Is that a freaking tree branch?" And I'm like, "Oh
was that
man,
me?
I don't know." I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
Yeah, I don't comment on people's stuff. I mean, I know I'm not, like one of these creme de la creme builders. I build like I like, and I like the stuff that I build, and I'm getting more deep. I used to say this phrase, well, I'm getting better, and I'm like, I gotta stop saying that because I'm actually pretty good at this game. I have to change that and say I'm I'm doing stuff differently. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
everybody if you play this game and if you can actually play this game, you're good at it because this game is actually not easy to play.
right.
I mean, learning, I think all the time, like, when did I learn how to do all this stuff? Like, I don't remember learning how to, hold the right mouse button and then the left mouse button to turn. And when did I teach myself this? Like, how did I learn how to play this game? And now it just comes naturally. So I tell people I know the tools of this game. I'm just a little too lazy to put in all that detail work.
Right. No, and you know what I struggle with really bad, and it's the weirdest thing, is what do you do right before the roof? Like as you're going up a building, and then it's like, what do I do right before the roof? I always struggle
So
with that.
it's funny you say that because what happens with me is I get in my head how I want a building to be. And then I just go ahead and build the building. Like I build all the walls and I go up and then I start decorating the outside of the building. And then I'm like, okay, it's done. Let me put the roof on and see how it looks. And then I get the roof on and I'm like, oh shit, that looks awesome. And I go, damn, I didn't decorate the inside.
No,
Hmm.
yeah, 100%.
All right. And so then I make it hard on myself and I go in and I decorate the building with the flashlight, and I'm and it, and to me, for me, the reason why I do it that way is because I guess I'm proving to myself that I really do know the tools of this game. Like I
Right.
know how to look straight up at a wall, and I know how to, line each light up and use the snap key, and I know how to do all that stuff with this game.
Yeah.
I know how to use this game better than I show it in the builds that I build. Let's put it that way. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, I'm, and I'm being honest, I'm just too lazy to do all the tedious work. I mean, I think if it looks good, I'm happy.
You
Can I
know,
make it better? Yeah, I can make it better.
oh yeah. And that's you feel it. It's like you look at Planet Builds, stuff like that, and
Hmm.
you're like, wow.
His
You know,
builds are amazing.
they're from a different planet, a different solar system. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, now granted that the stuff. I'm not an artist at all. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I mean, I'm not like those pixel art things that he does.
yeah,
I I I I would it would take me a month to learn how to do that. And then also too, triggers.
yeah,
I still have not ever used a trigger sequencer in any of my parts.
really,
Nope, I have never used one. I'm sure if I got one and put it down and worked with it, I will figure it out. But I've never used one
right?
because I've never done anything that's now with this park, the Yellow Brick Funk Park. I'm
Yeah,
probably gonna have to use a sequencer because of the motions that I want the characters that Alma's building to do.
right.
So yeah, she's building all the characters from across the Wizard of Oz, Wiz, Wicked, and Straight Out of Oz. She's building them all for me, and
Um,
I appreciate her so much. I mean, they
yeah, she is an amazing builder with that stuff.
you saw. I think I put in the Discord the pictures of what she's done so far.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyway, back to the workshop. That's my thoughts on the workshop. I think that um, they're just working in the background, and that's what causes the disconnect.
Well, it's a good take. I really do. I think you're right. I really do it, and we don't know what the future holds for the game. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that, Stan, on his recent video about that. We just sort of need to be patient and hold on because Frontier's not abandoning the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I agree with everybody is the lack of communication. They should if that is in fact the case, or whatever the case is, they should be able to reach out on their Discord and on their YouTube channel and say, "Hey guys, just give you a heads up. We're working in the background, so you may have some problems with the workshop, but don't worry, we'll have everything back up and we'll let you know, blah blah blah." That's communication. It's just people. I think a lot of people take communicating for granted.
Right.
And I can go into a whole bunch of stories about communication. I mean, I'm the type of person that if you can't communicate with me, we can't have a conversation. You know, I'll even take it to my client that I have right now. And this is, this is one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to release episodes of Yellow Brick Funk is because, uh, I think you know this. I don't think anybody else knows this, but I started working in HHA as an HHA,
Right.
and I have, oddly enough, every single client that I have has ALS, and it's research it. It's a very horrible disease, and anybody who has to go through it, or anybody who lives with someone or knows anyone that has to go through it, my heart is with you because it is just to watch the person go through this process of dealing with ALS is not an easy task. But the reason why I talk about this is because my main client, him and I got into it a couple weeks ago, and I there's no yelling or anything, but there was a heated conversation, sort of. And I explained to him, I said, I can't understand you. And he was upset because the person with ALS doesn't understand. They think that we hear them the way that they hear themselves. So they hear themselves as though they're speaking. It depends, and this also depends on the severeness of the ALS, how much it's taken over the person's psychology and neurology in their body.
Right.
And, they think that what they're saying is coming out the way that they're hearing it, when in fact it's not. It sounds like gibberish. And a lot of ALS patients have tools that they can use to communicate with. Well, my client is he has not let go of his. It's taken him a long time to let go of his independence. And so he was pissed because I couldn't understand what he was saying. And I'm like, you have the tools to speak to me. Use your tools. And he finally text messaged me and told me I was right and that, he will start using his tools more often. And he has. And so everything has been much better. He'll still try to speak, and I'll look at him like, I don't know what you're saying. And then he'll say, come with me. And then he'll go to his office and he'll text it what he wants to say. And it's like, everything is fine and dandy at that point. So that's one of the reasons why it's taking me so long to get this series out, is because I decided with this client and my other two clients that I didn't know about ALS until I started working with this company. I never knew what it was. I never heard of it. Nothing at all. And I thought I need to. And a lot of people that I talked to was like, what is that? What is it? So no, like a lot of people I know didn't know anything about it. So I'm like, how can I bring awareness to ALS and, kind of be a little sympathetic with people who do know what it is and are dealing with someone who has it or has it themselves. And so I've been rewriting the scripts and redoing the whole format of this show and trying to get it so that I can bring awareness to ALS within the Yellow Brick Funk.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why it's taking so long. That's why I've been trying to give out little teasers. So, meanwhile, I'm building the park and I'm rewriting the script and writing the script and recording and then deleting the recording. And it's just been such a passion project. This park has been a passion project.
Well, on that note, I guess we should probably wrap it up. I really appreciate this chance to talk to you and share your perspective on this stuff. And I hope this podcast, this first episode, goes well, is well received, because we'll do it again.
Yeah, I'm here. I don't go far. I don't go anywhere. I'm either home or at work. Or in my jacuzzi.
Before I close this out, two things. First, the DLC. Frontier has announced the next paid DLC pack for Planet Coaster 2 will drop in June. They've said it will include something new to the franchise, something that hasn't been in Planet Coaster before. They haven't said what, but we all know it's going to be Parade. I have opinions about what it might be on top of that, and I have stronger opinions about what I hope it means for the community. But I want to save that conversation for when there is more to discuss. So we're going to circle back to the DLC in the next episode, once we know a bit more. Or once it's clear Frontier isn't going to tell us more, which is also a whole separate story we can do. Until then, I'm curious what you think is going to be included in this DLC, or if there will be a paid update or not, and what will be in that. Leave your guess in the comments. I'll mention the best ones and the most paranoid ones. Drop your wildest theories down below, and I'll see which ones I like the most. Bonus points if you try to be funny. Second, what's coming up in the future here for the next episode? I want to deep dive into the community video I posted a couple weeks ago. There were 109 comments on that video. I believe there's more now, and I read all of them. They were patterned into several different camps of argument. There were perspectives I hadn't even heard before. I think there's a real episode of unpacking there. So that's what episode 2 is probably going to be about. Episode 3, I'm sorry. Episode 2 is going to be more about the DLC, a conversation about reciprocity, exclusion, support, and what will this community really think about what's going on. And like I said earlier, you guys know my stance on bullies. Excuse me. I'm having one heck of a time with my throat today. And just to repeat what I said at the top of all this, if you want to be on the show, or you've got a topic, or you're a creator and you just want to plug your stuff, the Google form is in the description below. Just be honest about your intentions. We'll have a chat on Discord, and then we can join in a call, and I will record the call together, and I'll drop it into an episode that it fits. I want to thank you for being here for episode 1. I've been wanting to make this show for a long time, longer than I knew probably. That's how those things work. And I think the reason it took me so long to do this is because until the last few weeks, when I started paying closer attention to what this community actually needs from the people who make content for it, that is what I think I need. And this show gives me a chance to have my creative expressions. So we'll see how this goes. I'm Jason. This was After Park Closes, and I'll see you next time.